Bali, a name that echoes through the world with images of serene beaches, towering temples, and vibrant traditions. But beyond the surface, this island in the Indonesian archipelago offers a more intricate story, one of sacred balance, ancestral memory, and a continuous dance between the visible and the invisible. Set between Java to the west and Lombok to the east, Bali spans just under 6,000 square kilometers. Yet within this compact area lies a remarkable diversity. Towering volcanoes pierce the clouds. Rice paddies ripple like green water across the hills. Temples rise from sea cliffs, forest shadows, and quiet village corners. And everywhere, life is infused with ritual. Our journey begins offshore, on the island of Nusa Penida, a rugged, less developed landmass southeast of Bali proper. Though only a 45-minute boat ride away, Penida feels wilder, more primal. It is a land of limestone cliffs, secret beaches, and raw natural beauty. The island's most iconic site is Kelingking Beach, where a towering headland juts dramatically into the ocean, its ridgeline resembling the spine of a prehistoric creature. From above, the sea glows with an impossible turquoise hue. Below, a crescent of sand awaits, reachable only via steep, narrow descent. Here, the silence is broken only by wind and wave. Few make the journey to the beach itself, but those who do are rewarded with a sense of solitude rarely found in today's world. Nearby, Angel's Billabong presents a tidal pool carved into volcanic rock, where crystal clear water gathers at low tide. The pool merges seamlessly with the ocean beyond. A short walk away is Broken Beach, a collapsed cave that now forms a circular cove. Its waters accessible only by the sea that rushes through a narrow archway in the rock dot just off the coast. Beneath the waves of Crystal Bay, manta rays glide in majestic silence. These creatures, with wingspans that can reach 5 meters, move with grace and dignity. Snorkelers and divers float alongside them, witnesses to an underwater ballet that has played out here for centuries. Returning to the mainland, we travel north into the lush interior of Bali. In the uplands of Ubud, nature and culture intertwine seamlessly. Often described as Bali's spiritual heart, Ubud is a mosaic of traditional arts, forested valleys, river canyons, and terraced rice fields. Among these, the Tegallalang Rice Terraces stand out. Carved by hand over generations, these terraces cascade down the hillsides in perfect symmetry. Water flows gently through narrow channels, guided by the ancient Subak system, a traditional Balinese irrigation method that is both agricultural and philosophical. Subak reflects a worldview where harmony between humans, nature, and spirit is not just desired, it is essential. At sunrise, mist clings to the palms, and the golden light catches the dew resting on each blade of rice. Farmers tend the fields. With measured rhythm, their movements shaped by knowledge passed down through families for centuries. Not far from Ubud lies Tirta Empul, one of Bali's most sacred temples. Founded in the 10th century, it is built around a natural spring whose waters are believed to purify and heal. Devotees line up at the edge of the pools, dressed in traditional sarongs, moving slowly from one fountain to the next, each stream of water representing a different aspect of purification. Tourists and pilgrims alike are invited to participate with humility, intention, and respect. The air here carries a scent of incense and frangipani. Bells chime softly as priests perform rituals nearby. Time seems to fold in on itself, and even the busiest traveler finds stillness. From the inland sanctuaries of Ubud, we descend toward the southwestern coast, where the dramatic cliffs of Uluwatu rise above the Indian Ocean. Perched at the very edge of these cliffs sits Pura Luhur Uluwatu, a sea temple dedicated to the protective spirits of the sea. Uluwatu Temple is one of Bali's 9 directional temples, placed strategically around the island to guard it from spiritual threats. The architecture is simple yet profound carved stone, worn smooth by salt and wind, standing in silent vigil against the horizon dot as sunset approaches. Visitors gather in the amphitheater beside the temple to watch the Kecak Dance performed. Without instruments, this traditional Balinese performance involves a chorus of men chanting rhythmically, creating a percussive soundscape that builds and intensifies as dancers enact scenes from the Hindu epic Ramayana. As the sun dips below the ocean, fire torches blaze, and silhouettes move like shadows from myth. Elsewhere, the magic of Bali reveals itself in quieter, more unexpected places. The sacred monkey forest sanctuary in the heart of Ubud is a protected area of dense jungle where over 700 long-tailed macaques roam freely. But it is more than a wildlife refuge. Scattered throughout the forest are ancient temples and moss-covered statues, slowly being reclaimed by the jungle. The monkeys here are considered guardians, and their mischievous antics are both amusing and symbolic. They remind us that in Bali, the line between the human and natural world is not always distinct. A short walk from central Ubud leads to the Campuhan Ridge, a trail that follows the crest of a hill through tall grasses and jungle edges. Along the way, the Gunung Lebah temple sits quietly by the river. Often overlooked, it is one of Ubud's oldest temples and a peaceful place to sit, observe, and listen to the sound of flowing water, bird calls, and the distant hum of prayer dot in the north of Bali. The island's terrain becomes more dramatic, the air cooler, the vegetation denser. This is the land of waterfalls. The most photographed is Tukad Cepung, hidden within a cave. To reach it, one must walk through a shallow riverbed, guided by shafts of light filtering through the rocks above. At the right time of day, the sunlight illuminates the falling water, creating an almost celestial scene. Further still lies Sekompul Waterfall, often described as Bali's most beautiful. It is not easy to reach. The journey involves winding roads, forest trails, and river crossings. But upon arrival, travelers are met with a towering cascade, split into multiple streams that fall in unison against a wall of green. The sound is thunderous, the mist cooling, the effect unforgettable. Between these natural wonders are hundreds of temples, some grand and renowned, others tucked away in villages, beside rivers or under trees. Temples in Bali are not merely architectural landmarks. They are living spaces used daily, cared for with devotion, and integrated into the fabric of community life. The heartbeat of Bali, however, lies not only in its landscapes or monuments, but in its people. Balinese culture is rich with ceremony, music, dance, and art, all rooted in a worldview that seeks balance in all things. Daily offerings, known as Canang Sari, are perhaps the most visible expression of this philosophy. Made from banana leaves, flowers, rice, and incense, they are placed at homes, intersections, temples, and even on vehicles. These small acts, repeated daily, represent a cycle of gratitude and humility. They acknowledge both the seen and unseen, forces that shape life. In villages across the island like Penglipuran, Trunyan, or Sidemen, this rhythm of life continues, often unchanged for generations. Visitors who take time to slow down and engage with the local communities are welcomed with warmth and curiosity. They may be invited to join a dance rehearsal, help with the harvest, or share a meal cooked over a wood fire. These interactions offer glimpses into a way of life centered not on accumulation, but on connection with ancestors, with the land, and with one another. And so we come to Tanah Lot, the final destination on our journey. Set on a rocky islet just off Bali's western shore, this temple appears to rise from the sea itself. At high tide, it becomes completely surrounded by water, inaccessible. At low tide, pilgrims make their way across the rocks to pray and receive blessings. The name Tanah Lot means land in the sea, and it is both a geographic and symbolic marker. Here, the boundary between land and ocean, between the sacred and the secular, is fluid. Sunset at Tanah Lot is a spectacle of light and silhouette, but also a moment of reverence. As the sun sinks beneath the horizon and the sea turns to gold, we reflect not only on the places we've seen, but on what they represent. Bali is often spoken of as a paradise, but that word can be misleading. Paradise implies perfection, detachment, something unreal. Bali is something else, something more grounded, more complex, more human. It is a place where beauty and hardship coexist, where modernity and tradition meet, where spirituality is not separate from daily life, but deeply embedded within it. To walk across Bali is to encounter a living culture, one that has adapted over centuries while maintaining its core values. It is to witness rituals that honor both gods and ancestors. It is to understand that every offering, every carving, every dance has a meaning rooted in history and belief. This is Bali, not just an island, not just a destination, but a reminder that balance, beauty, and meaning can still be found when we slow down, observe carefully, and open ourselves to the stories of a place. The island of the gods, the island of balance, the island of life.